Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smoton with your Friday, August 27th market update. On the economic front, the Q2 revised GDP came in at 1.6%, which was better than the 1.3% estimate, and it just seemed to really impress the market. It was a little better. The original, of course, was 2.4%, but hey, it's better than 1.6, definitely better than 1.3. The U.S. consumer sentiment number was actually weaker than expected, coming in at 68.9. Estimate was for 69.6. And then, of course, the Fed Reserve Chairman Bernanke, of course, I wasn't real surprised. He was a little more positive and didn't scare anyone this time with his speech at his on the U.S. economic outlook at Jackson Hole, Wyoming conference. So, and that seemed to help the market as well for a nice rally today. So on deck for Monday, we will have the U.S. personal income and outlays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. In fact, we have a lot of economic data out next week, so it should be another fun week. The dollar, gold, silver, copper, and oil were all up today. Gold was mostly kind of flat, but it was still up a little bit. And the light sweet crude futures were up another $1.81 to settle at $75.17 a barrel. So looking at the dollar ETF, the UUP, you can see we had this another doji type day, just pretty much equal buying and selling, little tiny candle. Just not much going on. It had decent volume there. It had decent volume. Over to the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart. So you can see we're back up here. Now, we broke down and went on a sell signal on oil here when we broke down this prior column of O's here. So around the $76 mark could be some resistance because that, was prior support. So now it could be new resistance. So we'll be watching the $76 mark. We got up, 75.40 something today, 75.44. So we'll be watching that into next week. Go over and take a look at the Dow. Dow closed up 164 points to 10,150. S&P closed up 17 points to 1,064. The Nasdaq closed up 35 points to 2153, and the Russell closed up 17 points to 616. The Russell had the largest percent gain at 2.83%, and the Dow was the weakest, but of course still up 1.65%. Volume across the indices, the ETFs, were up by about 10 to 30% above daily average volumes, except for the Qs. The Qs volume was up by 50%. It was pretty crazy. So I'm sure there was a lot of short covering going on as well, which is driving us higher today. So taking a look at the Dow here, we can. It looks good. I figure, we had this nice move higher. The MACD turned, of course, and we, taken out here. And obviously, around this 10,000 level, we're trying to hold that as support. I mean, we did close that one day a little below it, but we're trying to hold around that 10,000 level as some support. I would expect us to at least possible retest back up to the 10,300. I mean, we at least to there. I would think we'd get at least a few days out of this. Out of this bounce, or I don't think there's no capitulation. I don't think it's a bottom because of it just isn't acting like a bottom yet. Over to the SPX, another good bounce. Now we'll be watching the 1040 level, this green line here. We'll be watching that level as support. And it's another one, we'll probably get back up in here to this range, probably almost 1080 or so. Let's look at the 60-minute chart. Let's look about 20 days, 60 minutes. So if you look here on the 60-minute chart on the S&P 500, and we can draw somewhere around there to about there. So we were basically, if you look at the black lines, I know we've got some of the daily lines on here as well, but if we look in between the black lines, we went here, hit there, that was August 18th, we came down and bounced around, got it back to this black line, down in it. So we've been in this channel down, right? We did break out of it, the green here, we broke out of the channel down today, so that's looks promising, that's good. And let's take that off, that's a daily line. So that's why if you also look up here about call it about 1061 or so. Now we hit here and we hit here, so we have a double bottom breakout as well. So we had the double bottom breakout here, here, just right here. So we had the double bottom breakout. So 1040, 1060. So you'd expect we should get at least about a 20-point move out of this, right? So which would put us back up around this 1080 range, providing that the double bottom plays out. So again, so that'll be kind of a short-term target somewhere in that area. The Nasdaq, it did not. It still got resistance here, and it has not broken out above this downtrend line either. So, but it had a great move today, and the MACD did turn up just slightly. So we'll have to watch to see if it can get over that prior resistance there. And the Russell did break out above the downtrend line. And you can tell the Russell has been staying in this. This is on the daily chart, actually. It's been in this channel down on this daily. So we'll see where the Russell goes from here. I don't, it's got a, let's see, we've got a convergence of MAs, moving averages here of about, let's see, the 20, the 30, and the 50 are all around here at 630. So I would expect this around this 630, which is also right around this prior high, which is what, 632. So right around this 630, 632 should be some resistance for the Russell. So that would be the level to watch. Let's take a look at gold. Gold still hanging tough, still looks fine. Kind of sideways today, but still holding up fine, still looks good. Silver moving a little higher. It's had some decent volume. MACD's pointed not quite straight up, but it's up there, looking pretty good. So a lot of the silver stocks, of course, were doing well today. Look at the euro FX via the ETF FXE. So we had some decent volume again. We still haven't quite. We've got this gold line's the 50-day moving average. We're still struggling to overcome this 50-day moving average so far on the euro. So we'll watch that as go forward. So we've had these little tiny day, these little moves here, but right into the 50, and it seems to be struggling there. And the VIX down a lot today. Volatility come out a little over 10.5%. And we've got another convergence of some MAs here. We had support of the 50 yesterday, and that was the gold line. We've taken that out, and so now we closed sitting right on top of the 30-day, the 20-day, and there's what, a 150 there, and then the 200s down here. So we'll see where the VIX goes from here. But it could possibly have some support around these MAs. It did hold it here, right? Because they were about there as well, and now they're here. So we'll see. Maybe we don't get a few days of bounce, but I would expect we do. So let's look at SMH. Oh, I didn't look at copper, I don't think, did I? Copper. JJC, the ETF, big buying here, big buying here. We did break out above this downtrend line. There's been some resistance, had the volume to push us through. Now again, we're going to make a go again near this 46 level, which has been resistance there, resistance here, and looks like we're going to make a run at it again. See if we break through this time. And got volume, maybe we will. So, but copper's looking good again. I know FCX had a big move today. And SMH. SMH, the semiconductor holders, big volume to the upside, did bounce off here. Again, it's got this major resistance around this 2550. So until we take out this downtrend line, close up above here. But we had some good bounces on some of the semis today. And we've been looking at this longer term possible head and shoulder stop. It doesn't mean it is. We could actually be in this right here. We could be in a falling type wedge where we break out, and semis might have a nice little run here. So that will remain to be seen next week. Let's go take a look at the McClellan oscillator. If I can type. Right, so we're not really oversold anymore. We're closer to neutral, minus 15, so we're closer to neutral. So no, we're not really oversold. Let's take a look at the sectors. Of course, all 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The oil service index had the large percent gain, up 3.6%. The health index was the weakest, healthcare, and it was still up 0.96%. On Fridays, I don't have any chart watch. I don't do chart watch on Fridays because I go through over the weekend, and I will post my weekly watch list on Sunday evening. And really, there's no change here. The current market signals go look at them real quick, but they haven't changed. They're, of course, we're all still on sale. I mean, we didn't move that much today. It felt nice though, but we didn't move that much. So none of the change there, and it's really all I have. So that's it for today, and have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.